Hey everyone, this is Sophia from the Sophia Diaries, and today I'm going to be doing my Her Conference 2018 recap. I was actually not originally going to film this video or film anything in the next week or two, but during this conference I got so inspired by the vloggers and bloggers that I met that I just had all these ideas in my mind that I just had to share with you all and had to film. So I will be sharing with you what happened at her conference. So unfortunately, by the time I had this revelation, it was almost the end of the conference, so I didn't get a lot of footage from the first day, but I will just be sharing with you all what I've learned, any tips and tricks that I might have learned through other bloggers and vloggers, and then interesting quotes that I heard from the keynote speakers. So for those who don't know, Her Conference is hosted by Her Campus, which is an online magazine that's geared towards female college students. And it is a 2-day conference that currently happens in New York City in the middle of the summer. So it happened this past weekend, I believe, I want to say the 21st to the 22nd. And because I'm part of the intern group that Her Campus brought to the conference, I was trying to help out. So I spent a lot of the time in panels that were blogging related. And I learned a lot from the bloggers that came. For example, Kayla Quinn came, Crystal Bick. By the way, they're both my blogging spirit animals. I love them so much. They're so amazing. I hope I can get up to their level one day. But anyway, so I learned so much from them. And actually, shameless plug, I manage the Influencer Collective Instagram. So if you want to learn anything that was in the influencer track, so blogging, vlogging, how to make money, etc., you can go to the Influencer Collective Instagram, which I will link down below, and you can click on the Her Conference story highlights to see everything that the panelists said. But anyway, so the first day was mostly blogging related, and I learned some great stuff. There was some amazing keynotes. For example, Nico Tortorella, who plays Josh in TV Land's Younger, which is, by the way, one of my favorite TV shows that's running right now. They were there, and I apologize if I said he. They use they, them pronouns. So anyway, so they were there and they shared some amazing insight about gender. One of their favorite and commonly used quotes during their keynote was "all of it is you." I know some of you might be taking that out of context, but the idea and the premise of that phrase is that no matter what your gender, no matter how you identify, everything is you. You make up yourself, and society should not be pressuring you to be a certain way, to look a certain way, to act a certain way. So anyways, that was really informative. It made me tear up. It reminded me of my college career because Smith College is very open about that kind of conversation. So anyways, that was a great keynote. There were also some amazing keynotes. I actually made the mistake of not taking any notes that day, which by the time Sunday rolled around, I was like, why did I not do that? So if you do attend the conference, I highly recommend you take notes, or at least take notes of interesting and impactful quotes that other people have said. So anyways, that was the first day. I actually wrote like a list of things I need to talk about. So that was the first day. And then the second day, I decided that there were a lot more industry-related panels that I wanted to go to. That were not necessarily influencer related, because I do want to have, you know, a regular 9-to-5 job on top of being a content creator. So I went to some that were about startups, some that were about, you know, the different kind of jobs you can get in the media industry, etc. But there were also some really amazing keynotes. So one of them was Dr. Jen Walter, who I never heard of because she is the first female coach in the NFL, which makes sense why I never heard of her because I don't like sports. But she was so funny, so down to earth, and a lot of her experiences really hit home for me, mostly because she focused on how she never let her height or her stance or her figure define how she acted and define who she wanted to be. And it didn't hit home for me because I feel that way. It hit home for me because I have a younger sister who is very small for her age. She's 21 and she is a lot shorter than I am, and sometimes I see her struggle with that, and I wish I had taken her with me that day because I think she would have found that speech really impactful, really helpful, and she probably would have cried because I did tear up. I kept leaving because I was like, I'm not crying at this because that's stupid, but you know, it was a great speech, and I highly recommend people check her out because she's so inspirational, she's so funny. I wish I got to meet her. I probably could have, but I was like running around. So yeah, Dr. Jen Walters were there. She's amazing. And then Logan Browning was the closing keynote.
Without further ado, please join me in giving a strong Her Campus welcome to Logan Browning.
I did not know what she had been in. The only thing I knew about her was that she was in the Bratz movie, which I loved. But she is also one of the actresses in Dear White People in Netflix's original series, which I have yet to watch, so I didn't really understand her popularity, unfortunately, which is the truth, and I always want to be truthful with you. So, but it was really inspirational because not only did she say from her own experiences, not only did she recant some of her personal experiences, but she also engaged with the audience and wanted to hear back from what the audience, which was mostly of young college female students, what they wanted, you know, someone with her influence to be able to accomplish in the world. And that really hit home for me. And I was very grateful to have been there to witness that. The amazing thing about the conference was not just what you've learned, but also the amazing goodies, which I know sounds really materialistic, but you know, some people really just go there for the goodies. And you know, I think it would be remiss if I did not include that. I'm not going to show you the goodies because this is not a conference haul, but there was some amazing things. The Swell, the bottle company, gave us each one of the bottles on the first day. There was a moleskin notebook, there was a lot of stickers, there was some Bumble items. There were some amazing things, amazing swag, a lot of great tote bags, etc. But I think my takeaway from the entire conference isn't the stuff, right? The stuff is just an extra perk. The takeaway I took is that, you know, no matter what happens, just believe in yourself. Believe that you can do it. Believe that you have the experiences, that you have the motivation, the passion. And if you have all of those things, then you will be able to accomplish everything you want to accomplish, no matter where you are in your life and no matter what other people say about you. I think one of the most important things I learned, and one of the most important quotes that I took away, is that don't let other people's scar tissues prevent you from doing something. And that is said by Dr. Jen Walters, and that really hit home for me because sometimes I'm always thinking about, you know, what other people think when I do something, and that's just not the way to live. That's just, you shouldn't be worried about what other people think, what other people say, because as long as you think it's right for you and as long as you think that you're meant to do it, then just go do it, because there will always be people that say no. There will always be people who don't understand why you're doing something, and there will always be people who will discourage you. But I think it's important to realize you're doing it for you. At least that's the goal, right? Is to be doing something for yourself, and then to hopefully be surrounded by people who will encourage you and, you know, tease out exactly what you want to do in your life and then fully support you. So anyways, I don't want to get sappy, but the conference was amazing, and I honestly could not have experienced something better than that. I totally did not know what I was going into. I totally thought that, you know, I was going there to work, and which is fine. I was all for that. I wanted, Her Campus is literally my dream company to work for, so I was all for it. I really want to hopefully end up being a full-time Her Campus team member, and I just wanted to gain as much experiences from that conference as I could in terms of helping out behind the scenes, etc. But I really did not expect learning so much personal things that I did. And that was one of the most amazing things, is being able to not only have the behind the scenes side, but also learn something on my own. And that was just no amount of money and no amount of, you know, stuff could ever take that away from me. So anyways, I highly recommend you go to next year's her conference. I know that there have been some people who want it on the West Coast, and hopefully they can make it happen, but it's a great experience. I highly recommend it. The ticket is pretty expensive. I think for regular it's $150, for VIP it's $200. But in my opinion, I would totally spend that money next year because it's just that worth it. So yeah, I hope this recap was helpful, and hopefully, I don't know. I don't know why I said hopefully. Anyway, so if you have any questions, comments, concerns, opinions, let me know in the comments down below. And as always, if you have anything you want me to film or share with you, also let me know in the comments down below. And I look forward to seeing you next Sunday. Bye!